It was a bittersweet moment that shook the hearts of fans worldwide. BTS's Jungkook and Astro's Eun-woo came together for a final live broadcast just before Eun-woo's scheduled enlistment in the military, and what unfolded was a heartwarming, tear-inducing exchange that fans will never forget. Captured in a now viral image, the two close friends sat side by side in a split-screen live. Eun-woo in a simple white shirt, his head newly shaved in preparation for service, and Jungkook in a black top, smiling brightly yet holding back visible emotion. While they joked and laughed, there was no hiding the heaviness in their voices and the underlying sadness in their eyes. This wasn't just a casual live, it was a farewell, a moment of truth, a quiet confession of how much their friendship means, not just to each other but to millions who look up to them. Eun-woo thanked everyone who had supported him, especially mentioning Jungkook as someone who had always been there, no matter what. His words were sincere, grounded, and full of gratitude. Jungkook, in turn, looked at him with the kind of smile that carries 1,000 emotions: pride, support, fear, and hope all at once. He encouraged Eun-woo with warm words and reassured fans that he'll be back stronger. Fans couldn't hold back their emotions. Social media exploded within minutes. Hashtags like the Jungkook Eun-woo Live, Goodbye Eun-woo, and Soccer Forever Brothers began trending globally. Armies and Arohas united in their emotional reactions, flooding timelines with screenshots, heartfelt messages, and tearful emojis. This moment was more than a celebrity live. It was a tribute to real friendship, resilience, and quiet bravery. It reminded everyone that behind the fame and flashing lights, these idols are just human, with fears, dreams, and bonds that run deep. As Eun-woo prepares to step into a new chapter, fans are left clinging to the warmth of this final interaction. And for Jungkook, his silent promise to wait, support, and welcome Eun-woo back with open arms became a source of strength for all watching. No one knows what the future holds, but one thing is certain: this final live will be etched in the hearts of fans forever. But just when fans thought they would be blessed with a longer, heartfelt interaction between the two, something completely unexpected happened. Jungkook left the live just 2 minutes after it began. Yes, 2 minutes. Barely enough time to breathe. Barely enough time to say goodbye. And yet, in those brief seconds, the screen lit up with smiles, laughter, and the unmistakable bond between two friends who didn't need words to speak volumes. As Jungkook waved and said his soft farewell, fans were left stunned. Many hoped he would stay longer, share stories, tease Eun-woo a little more, or perhaps give a comforting message for fans who were already bracing for Eun-woo's enlistment. But instead, he vanished from the screen, leaving Eun-woo alone in front of the camera, facing millions, with a brave yet vulnerable smile. Was Jungkook too emotional to stay longer? Was it a silent gesture of strength, letting Eun-woo take the spotlight on his big day? Or was it just too painful for him to sit and pretend everything was okay, knowing his closest friend would soon be away for nearly 2 years? Fans began speculating immediately. Theories flooded platforms like X, formerly Twitter, Weverse, and TikTok. Some noticed Jungkook's eyes looked misty before he left. Others pointed out that his smile, though warm, was laced with sadness. Many believed he didn't want to cry in front of fans or in front of Eun-woo. And then there was Eun-woo, alone on screen, sitting quietly for a few seconds. Then, like the true professional and kind soul he is, he smiled again. He continued talking. He comforted fans who were emotional. He spoke with warmth, assurance, and humility, never once complaining, never once breaking. The live went on for several minutes afterward, but the absence of Jungkook hung heavy in the air. Fans couldn't stop replaying those first 2 minutes, rewinding, screenshotting, analyzing every glance, every word. Some commented, Jungkook couldn't bear to say goodbye. That's why he left. 2 minutes. But the emotion he gave us will last forever. He left to give Eun-woo the stage. That's real friendship. It wasn't about the length of time Jungkook was there. It was the meaning behind those 2 minutes. He showed up, he smiled. He stood beside his friend at the most important crossroads of his life. And then, he quietly stepped back, like a brother who wanted to let the spotlight shine on someone else for once. In those 2 short minutes, Jungkook said everything without saying much at all. The silence after he left spoke louder than words. It echoed through fandoms. It touched hearts. And it left a void that fans could feel, even through a screen. This wasn't just a farewell. It was a moment of vulnerability, of truth, of unspoken love between two friends who have weathered the world of fame together. And now one of them is off to serve his country, while the other remains, watching, waiting, supporting from afar. As the screen shifted and Jungkook disappeared, what remained was silence. Not in sound, but in the way Eun-woo paused, inhaled deeply, and smiled to himself, as if trying to hold it all together. He was alone now. But it didn't feel lonely. It felt heavy, real, and intimate. A rare moment where the public could see a side of Eun-woo that was rarely shown. The vulnerable, honest man behind the idol image. And then he spoke. With a voice that trembled ever so slightly, he looked directly at the camera and said, "I didn't expect him to leave so fast. But that's Jungkook for you. He always says a lot through very little." He let out a quiet laugh, one that sounded like he was trying to keep himself from tearing up. The live chat exploded instantly, Army and Aroha, alike flooding the screen with hearts, crying emojis and words of encouragement. But Eun-woo wasn't finished. Still looking at the screen, he added, "We've known each other for a long time now. He's been a constant, someone who checks on me without needing a reason. Even when he's far away, he always manages to make me feel like I'm not alone. That means more than I can say." He stopped again, looking down at his lap, clearly gathering his thoughts. Then, as if he needed to get it off his chest before it became too much, he said something that broke hearts in an instant. "If you're watching this later, Jungkook, thank you for being here tonight, for everything. I'll carry that 2-minute moment with me for the next 18 months. Fans couldn't handle it." Screenshots of Eun-woo's expression, that quiet confession, and the raw sincerity behind every word spread like wildfire online. Comments poured in. "This is more than friendship. This is brotherhood." Jungkook left, but his presence never really left. "They really said goodbye without even saying it." Eun-woo then looked back up, smiled with a little more strength, and turned his attention to the fans. He thanked them, not just for supporting him, but also for loving Jungkook. He asked them to continue supporting BTS, to continue showing love to the members, especially during these times of transition. He reminded fans that while he might be stepping away, he'll return stronger, with more to share and more stories to tell. But perhaps the most touching part came near the end of the live. In a quiet, almost whispered tone, he said, "I'll miss a lot of things, but I think I'll miss our late-night calls the most, Kook." That one line. Simple, honest, unfiltered. It was all fans needed to know, how deep their bond truly was. As the live came to a close, Eun-woo gave a final bow, a soft wave and a heartfelt promise. "Stay healthy, everyone. And Jungkook, don't forget to eat on time." That final sentence struck deep, a casual reminder that sounded more like a silent plea between brothers. The live ended, but the echoes of that night still ripple through fandoms. The image of Eun-woo sitting alone after Jungkook left, strong, grateful but undeniably emotional, a reminder that even in the world of glittering stages and flashing cameras, true friendships still exist, and sometimes they show themselves in the quietest goodbyes.